pitch can change even in a test match or even in T20Is for sure. So it somehow needs to be eliminated.
Yeah, of course. And I can totally see this being implemented later on by someone from the BCCI and, pass it off as an experiment. And it actually works out because I personally was very impressed. So recently, the BCCI has introduced a new, they're experimenting with a rule in the under 23 C.K.Nayudu trophy where they are thinking of scraping the entire toss system, and they will give the opposition team the option to bat or field first. And they are doing this to eliminate the toss method. Now, this is not the first time that is being done to, eliminate this, because ICC has previously had announced it in 2018 where they would implement it in the Australia-England series, but they scrapped that later. And in the English County Championship. This was done from 2016 to 2019, where the away team was given the choice to field first. A toss was not mandatory. They could have a toss if they wanted, but then they reintroduced the toss system later. In the Big Bash League for a season, they tried to flip bats instead of the coin. So there have been various methods or measures taken to scrap the toss system. So I just wanted to know what your thoughts are, considering that I feel this entire toss system, which is based on luck, it goes against what sport in general stands for, which is, as we discussed, it stands for, efforts. It stands for putting yourself and everything. Toss is purely based on luck. It has got nothing to do with sport. So I just wanted to know what your thoughts are and what could be an alternative to this, if not for a toss, coin toss.
Um, yeah, I think India also has a very bad relationship with the toss. So we have lost a lot of World Cup games as well because of the toss. Even in UAE, we lost the T20 game against Pakistan and New Zealand because the team batting second had a significant advantage. So I always felt that even against New Zealand in the semi-final and of course the final against Australia in Narendra Modi Stadium. So in football, perhaps, or maybe hockey or some other sport, toss does not matter that much. But in cricket, it matters so much when the pitch could be unpredictable or to either bat first or ball first, but not for the main game, for the one over that will then decide who will bat first or ball first. So both the teams will play a super over, but I wouldn't say a super over, just a one over game where it's kind of neutralized. The pitch will not change anyways in these two overs, but then you can actually have players as well to specifically kept for this, so you don't have to announce the squad beforehand. Maybe after the first one over game is over and you win, and then you get to choose whether you have want to bat first or ball first. Plus you will also get a taste of the pitch and how exactly it is behaving rather than just predicting what it will do. So maybe the toss can have a better decision making process, and then you can play the main game. So that's something that I feel it. I don't right now. I don't see anything against it, but I would love if someone tells us why this method won't work. Because that just then forces us to think of something else. But this can be very interesting.
Yeah, of course. And I can totally see this being implemented later on by someone from the BCCI and, pass it off as an experiment. And it actually works out because I personally was very impressed with this because when you talk about right now this shorter format, which everything is being like cricket was from test cricket, like from ODI cricket, we came to T20 because it is just short and entertaining for people, and just from movies we came to reels. So now this format, this super over, which everyone actually craves for every match, it could potentially be a pretty exciting idea, just not for sport or just not for deciding who gets to bat or ball first, but also you can see a lot of brands getting along with it, like Seat tires.
Yeah.
toss decider, something like that. It could
Yeah.
also be commercially viable for
Yeah. Yeah.
the sport. So, it's pretty. I really like this idea, and I really hope this gets implemented sometime in
And
the future.
you can have specific players as well dedicated to this one over, where in super over you have to go
Yeah,
with your team,
exactly.
right? But you can maybe have a bowler who is really experienced and maybe not take him in the main game, but you can have like a very specific player kept for this one game, one over game. uh could be very interesting. And basically then
Finally, some good use of impact player
yeah, yeah, and what it does
will
is
be made.
it gives the
Like,
power to the team to decide. And obviously there will still be some kind of a luck factor, but at least then you would know that it's not because of the toss that you have lost. It could be because maybe you couldn't get a victory in this one over game. So, instead of diminishing and not giving a chance at all to the team that will lose the toss, on flat pitches it doesn't matter, but on pitches in this subcontinent and maybe even outside of Australia, and some flat pitches and decks on India, I think it's very significant. And anyways, if we are talking about it, I personally did not like this call of giving the away team the advantage of picking, because what does it even accomplish? It's in cricket, in football, there's a significant home advantage because of the crowd. It's not even because of the pitch, it's just because of the crowd and because of all the history and legacy of those stadiums which date back to 100 years. But in cricket it's not like that. In cricket, even though in IPL, so what constitutes as a home advantage in IPL is because a team in the auction picks players for the 7 games in which will be played at their home. So Mumbai Indians will pick players who would be suitable for their Mumbai Indians pitch, so that they can at least win 5 out of 7, then which then guarantees that if even if they win just 2 or 3 away, they can still go and play the playoffs. So only that's the advantage. But then if you introduce this, you are saying that the away team as is at a significant loss, which is not the case, because the away team still has players who are accustomed to these pitches. So Shreyas Iyer is from Mumbai, so it's not like they are going to be deprived of something. So I think that doesn't make sense. And obviously this rule might not come in the senior cricket, it is still in junior cricket. But even in CK Naidu, I don't think that young players should go, and there's a significant advantage to the home team that will then be nullified. Actually, I would say that and CK Naidu is kind of a first class format. So it's a 3 days game. So that means that if there's if the away team chooses to bat first or ball first, then that gives them a huge significant advantage rather than neutralize the game, just because batting first matters so much on in cricket, because these pitches change. If we didn't have bounce in cricket, it wouldn't have mattered. But because we have bounce and the ball bounces, the pitch matters so much to the game. So I don't see any sense in this, and I don't want this to be implemented in senior level anywhere.
yeah, I mean, as you rightly said, it's only in football that there's a home and away advantage, mainly because of the support. And we saw how crucial it is in even in the Champions League, and now that they've scraped the away goals rule, how meaningless the first leg has become. Like if it is a draw, it's
Yeah.
essentially like starting at 0-0 in the second leg. So in football, you can understand, but in cricket, it does not make sense. Probably the thought process was that just because the home side has the pitch influence over the pitch, the away side is at a loss, so let's introduce
Mm.
something like this. But even then it only makes sense for regional tournaments, because when you have a World Cup, when you are going to another country, when two neutral teams are playing, then what exactly is the purpose of a home team and an away team? Because it just doesn't exist there. Like
Mm.
there is no pitch advantage, there is no fan advantage. And even in IPL this season, you can say home advantage, but I've seen uh, CSK jerseys in almost every stadium.
Yeah.
So I think that that home and away culture is still not existent in India, especially in cricket. So
Hmm.
as you said, it's just, again, even I don't agree with it, but I just hope that something better comes along to replace the toss system. As we have discussed, it's just purely based on luck, and you just cannot have luck control that much of
Hmm.
the outcome of a game when players put in weeks and months and years of their lives. Virat Kohli does not eat chicken and sacrifices on his chole bhatures. Then you just cannot have toss influencing the
Yeah.
outcome of his World Cup or of his career. So I hope that there
Yeah.
is a better alternative for it.
Yeah, and just very lastly, to nullify this advantage, that's why the pitches have become very flat now, because you can't have spinning tracks which will deteriorate as the match goes on, giving significant advantage again. So that's why we are seeing these 250, 260 scores, and even, to be
Yeah,
honest, a 200 now sounds very dull in T20, which is bad, because why even have bowlers, have a machine that will then bowl to batters, and will just see if they can smash every
yeah,
ball for six. So that's one thing. So yeah, this was a short episode. We intended to do this as a reel, but I think we had too much to talk about it, so I'll anyways post it as a long form video and cut the shorts and then post it on social media. But yeah, fun episode. If you have a solution, you can comment down below. And BCCI, I have a solution, so you can contact me, and we can have a 1 over game. So, all right. Until next time.